Our next guest is Doreen Scheider, and she is lovely. She's got a lot of things that she's going to talk to us about. Hi there, Doreen.
Hi, how are you?
Fine,
nice
how are you
doing?
Again. Nice to see you. Your hair is lovely. I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank you.
So, tell us something about about you. You've been single for how long?
Oh gosh, almost 18 years now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, and I was married once for 16 years.
Okay.
And I don't have any children, although I love children, and I've been a teacher for 15 years and a counselor for 16 years.
Okay.
A high school counselor and an adult ed counselor. So I love people and children, but unfortunately, due to career goals, I never did have children.
Okay. Have you had a long-term relationship in the 14 years that you've been single?
Yes, two.
Okay, two of them. And what happened? Just didn't go to the level of marrying?
Like you were saying earlier, one was a great man, but it was just a matter of timing. I hadn't resolved all the issues in my divorce.
So you jumped into it a little bit too soon, you think?
Yes, yes. And he was quite serious and had been available for many, many years and wanted a companion right away. So.
And you weren't ready to make that commitment?
Yes, unfortunately. You know,
well, I mean...
You let good people pass you by.
And there's no chance of reconnecting?
He's married.
Oh, he's married.
Yeah,
he found someone then.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. And then the other one? The other long-term?
The other one moved out of state, and his job that he had when I met him had, how can I say it and be... It didn't work out, so he had to go take a different type of job quite a ways.
Okay.
Although I don't mind meeting people that live in another state. I think you have to keep your options open.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So you'd be willing to travel long distance?
I love to travel. I just came back from Eastern Europe, yes.
Okay.
Not meeting someone in Eastern Europe, but I would love to. I mean, I would keep my options
I understand
open,
what you're saying.
as long as it's a shared responsibility.
Right. Well, I have there's somebody else in my office who does a lot of online dating, and she does it long distance. So she'll meet men who are living in, I don't know, I can't remember the last state, I don't know, Alabama or somewhere, and she'll fly there, he'll fly there, fly here. So it can work out, I guess, if you're willing to do it. But I did have a friend, which is kind of a funny story that I'll just tell very quickly. A very good friend of mine, he used to date with ads in the newspaper.
Oh,
I said, oh my gosh, that's so obsolete. If you're going to do it, go online dating. So he started online dating. And before I knew it, he was meeting women who lived in Oregon and real far away. And he met this one lady in Oregon. And he arranged for her to come down and spend the weekend with him. She got off the plane, and he said when she got off the plane, his mouth literally fell open. She was like 3 times the size of what she told him and the pictures he had seen. So
that happens all the time on online dating.
Do you online date?
I have. And what I find is that people don't represent themselves accurately. Right.
The picture and the profile? But mostly the picture or both?
Usually the picture. Yet they want someone that's fit and looks young.
Isn't that interesting?
It drives me crazy. You have no idea.
Oh, I know. I had a speed dating event, and this man was standing in front of me, and he said, I'm looking for a girl who looks like J-Lo. And he was a nice guy, but he had like a big pot belly. His dress was really bad. And I was thinking, you know, I'm sorry, but I don't think J-Lo would be interested in a girl like J-Lo. You know, you have to stay within your type.
Right.
That's another thing. You have to know, like, on the scale of 1 to 10, you being a 10, you want to, you wouldn't, you know, you just wouldn't fit with a man who's a 1. And I'm sorry to say, but I mean, that has a lot to do with lifestyle, too. And mostly it has to do with lifestyle and perhaps education and being sophisticated or not, and but that is another problem too. People do not stay within their whatever. Yeah, what did I say it was?
I was going to say boundaries, but it's not really boundaries.
You have to know what
your lifestyle and the educational style, economic style. I mean, economic.
You have to be realistic about that. You have to be realistic. So, where do you find most of your dates then?
Where do I find them? Actually, parties that you have thrown.
Okay.
In similar parties. Friends that have parties,
Okay.
that always is a good place.
Oh, it's very good to let people know that you're single and available, because then they can invite you and maybe have somebody in mind to introduce you to.
However, you find out that they're the same people that go to these parties. So what I'm looking for, that's why I said my options are open, someone maybe that I haven't met before.
Oh, well.
I mean, you seem to see the same people.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, it's a small world almost, in a way.
Right.
And although every once in a while, because I have a boyfriend, but every once in a while I will go on Match.com just to see who's out there and that sort of thing. Not for me, but just for my business, or one of the online dating sites. Anyway, I'll go online and I see the same people all the time.
Right.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yes.
I hardly ever see anybody new.
Yes,
so,
that's correct.
And they're on there for years.
And many people are not members, so you join the service, and you find that they're not even a member.
Really? Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Later on, someone will contact me because they'll look at their contacts and they'll say, I wasn't a member at the time. I joined because I want to meet you.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Well, you're so lovely. I would think that you would have a lot of men seeking you and approaching you and wanting to be with you. So,
for some reason, I tend to meet a lot of serial daters. I don't know if I come off that way, but I'm very down to earth. I'm very stable.
Right.
I have I'm very educated. And I have a lot of street smarts, too.
Right.
So I don't know, for some reason I do meet men that are serial daters.
Is that from them meeting you from a profile and a picture that you have posted?
From that, and actually I don't get that many from profiles because I'm usually pretty honest about my age, and I am in my late 50s.
Okay.
That's another problem, because if I put 50 or 55, I'm going to get a lot more.
Oh.
So sometimes I give them a flirt or a wink or whatever, and then they contact me from my pictures.
Unfortunately,
it's so superficial.
Men want a younger woman. Most men, not all men, but most men want a younger woman. So a woman who is in her late 50s, unless she says that she's in her mid 50s or early 50s or something, she won't even come up in the search.
Exactly.
So, and these men, a lot of men, and I love men, don't get me wrong. I mean, they just seem to think that they don't age. A lot of these men, and unless they have something to offer to somebody, unless they really have something special to offer, a young woman nowadays wants to date a younger man. The tables have kind of turned. So, yeah.
And they have the children and often grandchildren, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I know.
And younger women want children, or they want financial support.
I know. Thank you so much, Doreen. It was really a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you
and I wish
so
you the
much.
very best.
Thank you.